How's it going, everybody? Jody in here, and I am back for another episode in No Man's Sky. We're just getting all booted in here. And, yeah, so the last episode, I know I had to cut the last episode short. I was kind of in a rush to get some stuff done. This episode should have a little more time, and I did do the homework, shall we say, between these episodes. And there's a few different theories on the subjects of how to get the most nanites. Farming is especially like farming mold and all that, which I thought was a really good way to do it. It is apparently on the bottom of the scale. I was not aware of that. The one thing that there was a couple of people that said your best bet is to get Sentinels and kind of escalate them to maybe like stage 2, and then do not shoot the triangle ones, because shooting the triangle ones apparently that will get them to go to the next stage. But if you leave the triangle ones will continue to spawn in units at your existing stage. So if you're like a level 1 alert or level 2 alert, and you keep shooting the just the ones that are just the drones that are shooting back at you, then apparently those triangular drones will just keep spawning in more. They'll just spawn in, spawn in, spawn in. And that will allow you to collect glass, which you can then trade in for nanites. Well, you're not going to trade in the glass specifically. You're going to trade in the upgrades, because you'll get upgrades. From the glass, you get upgrades. Do I have any glass? That's a good question. I will see if I do have some glass. So, none in there. None in there. I don't think it has... Maybe the glass... Does it have a symbol on it? No, so I don't have any glass. But if you find the glass, or if you get the glass and you process it, it'll get you things like this. And you hand them in. Instead of applying them to your own outfit, or your own equipment, you hand them in, and that'll get you some nanites. Now, the other question I had, which was the Alone Amidst the Stars quest, which we seem to be stuck in. Well, not stuck in, it just seems to be in another system. Somebody said you could try... if you don't have a reset, which I don't seem to have, one thing you can try is using a signal beacon, which is... I can't craft it here. I'm not sure what I need for a signal beacon, so... I'm learning to use the hatch to get out of the ship, because sometimes this teleport button will stick you in the ship. Like, literally in the ship. It'll jam you inside. and you will not have the ability to get out of that. Okay, so signal booster, this guy here. Metal plating, carbon nanotubes. Let's pin the details. There we go. So we'll get on our ship here, and we'll grab... I think we needed one metal plating. I'll just grab a bunch. And then we need carbon and... I think it was... Was it sodium? Carbon and sodium? I think this one was sodium. Oh, I need carbon nanotubes. Like, I just needed the one carbon nanotube and the sodium, yeah. Ah. Okay. And it looks like we have a Sentinel right here. So, we might be able to do a 2-for-1. Okay, we'll get our signal booster. We'll put it here. And back up to our ship. So yeah, they were saying if you get the glass, you can use the glass, excuse me, specifically, to basically create the upgrades, these guys. But before installing them, you go and sell them. So you don't install them, you just sell them. Now, has the storm ended? It's still going. Oh, it's ended, okay. So I'm going to try this first. They say you triangulate your position, which I don't seem to have here. I just have to locate nearby structures. So I guess we'll do that. And I got something over there. Resource deposit. That doesn't appear to be the thing that I was trying to do. But, you know what, let's do this for a little bit. There's some glass right there. So they'll send me more Sentinels. And I gotta leave the triangular ones alone. These guys here I can blow the shell out of. But it said leave the triangular ones alone. And now I know which ones it's referring to. It's referring to the ones that come in stage 2. It's not referring to that little repair bastard that's over there. It's referring to the ones that come in stage 2. This little repair prick is not what it's referring to. So suppression level 2, this should bring the triangle guy. There he is. So don't shoot the triangle guy is what they're saying. They're saying leave the triangle guy alone. Get rid of the repair ones. Leave the triangle guy. Because the triangle guy will bring more bots. And then you just, basically, you harvest the glass. So you don't want to escalate yourself to tier 3. See how he's paging in new drones? He just gets on the radio and pages them in. The Blaze Javelin doesn't seem to give him time to repair. Where'd that go? Combat shield upgrade. So I don't want to take out the triangle one. I want to take these guys out. Take out the repair ones. Javelin's pretty fucking beastly for doing this. Ow. Oh look, I got a visitor. I like that the Javelin seems to almost disable them if I hit them with a full burst. Seems to put them on the disabled list. So that's kind of cool. So let's grab combat supplies. We got combat supplies, we got combat supplies. I need salvage glass. I need glass. Supposed to be getting glass. Oh, there's some glass. Nice. Okay. And yeah, he keeps spawning them in, and I'm still in stage 2. I haven't been pushed to stage 3 yet. So, as long as I keep the triangle guy alive, I'll be constantly at stage 2, I think. I won't have to deal with the friggin' dogs. He just keeps bringing them in. Get rid of the repair guys first, because repair guys suck. Oh, geez, weapon charge deleted. Okay, do I have the ability to repair it? I do not. I put all the carbon away. Dang it. Alright. Ow. Back to Volcaster. I mean, Volcaster's pretty effective too. These bomb dropping guys are a pain in the ass, though. Combat shield recharge. Can I get more glass, please? Listen, you grenade chucking prick. Oh, it did have. It escalated me to stage 3. I did not take out the triangle guy, at least I didn't think I did. Alright, let's, I didn't take out the triangle guy that I know of. So we'll just pop up here, and we'll, let them do their search. Did I get, I got 8 glass, not bad. So we'll do extraction like this. So apparently these guys I can sell. Oh, look at that. 1900 nanites. Well, here's hoping that's what I get for them. Or is it 19 for the stack? Yeah, it's 19 for the stack. Dang it! Well, that doesn't really seem like a... I don't know. I mean, I really didn't do much. I just blew up some guys, but still, that doesn't seem like... Oops. That doesn't really seem like much for the effort. I guess I really didn't put in too much of an effort, though, eh? I just blew shit up. Oh, for crying out loud. What am I doing? Yeah, recharge. So here's that triangle guy. Where's the others? Listen, you. Get fucked. Zappy zappy. Listen, you. Stop repairing them. Doggy needs to die. Doggy's dead. Okay, so let's collect this stuff up. There's some glass. Guess we got another glass. Nice. What we got over here? Projectile ammo. Listen, you. Get wrecked. I know what I just said, but get wrecked. Reinforcements arriving. That's fine. Send you reinforcements. I got 2 more glass. And that brought me up to 5 on that. Sentinel suppression level severe. That's not the box I want to put those in. Whoops. Don't do that. There we go. I'm getting some decent pugnum. So that's good. If I don't want to be detected, I'd actually have to get rid of that triangle guy now. Because he's the one that'll detect me. He's their detector. And there he is. Come on out of the ship. Come on out of the ship. Come on, peek out of the ship. Did I hit you? No, I missed you. There you are. There. See you detect me now. Oh, wait a minute. I think they got another detector right there. I think you are another detector, are you not? Maybe, maybe not. I hear the walker. It's pissy. Sounds like it's in a pissy mood. Don't see the walker. I think it's under me. Hey, bud. Zappy, zappy. Yeah, bring your repair guy over. That's perfect. Oh, they got another triangle guy. That's why they're still detecting me. Come here, prick. The triangle guy that detects you. Woo! Walker's a badass. Hey, buddy. I don't think I can take him out, though. Ah, there you are. You're the guy I want to see. Get fucked. There we go. Guess you can't see me now. Guess you can't detect me now. Yeah, just step on out. There we go. Oh, look at you. You're just shaking like a leaf. Well, let me help you with that. You seem to be having an issue. Are you really sure about this? Well, too bad. Got a hard frame engine. Oh, we got the full friggin' boat now. Where's the other one? There it is. Yep, maximum aggression. I gotta get back up to my ship because I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Alright. So did we get another one? We got another one! And we got a hard frame engine. Nice. Alright, gotta get rid of the triangle guys. Because we'll get rid of the, then we'll get rid of the Sentinels. Hi! There's a triangle guy. Get rid of you. And there should be another one somewhere. There will probably be another one somewhere. Okay, doggo, piss off. There's a repair drone. Fuck it up. Excuse you. Woo! Oh, that's a biggie. Where's another triangle drone? Oh, Jesus. He's just strolling around. Where's the other triangle drone? There you are. Got him. Okay. Yeah, we're in your little search. We're not gonna lose him now because this guy we're walking through me. We might not lose him now. Because this guy's gonna walk through me and just be seen completely every single time he walks through me. Alright, let's get some altitude here a little bit. And we do not want that to happen, so we will hop out again. There's a repair guy there, but I can't see him. I saw him for just a second, and then he went away. Come on up. There you go. So he's detecting me, and there's one more thing down there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a dog or if it's a... what it is. It's moving erratic. Very erratically. Alright. So let me park in here now and see what happens. See if we get a timeout. We should get a timeout now. Because the only thing down there is the walker and possibly a dog? So we should get a timeout because there's no detector. We'll just have to wait for it. I gotta say though, the javelin is one hell of an effective weapon against these guys. All right, let's go get some projectile ammo. We got glass here. No, more projectile ammo. Oh, it was just a regular drone. Where'd the walker go? Did he take a swim? Is that him there? He did take a swim. Oh, I think he's getting pissy though. I think he got pissy when I went close to him. But yeah, he was taking a swim. Alright. So, let's go see... this says 2,000 nanites. Let's go see what we can get for that at the space station. I guess I could go to my base and sell them, but... oh no, I can't, because we have to sell them at a space station. We cannot sell them at our base. Why does my... oh, wow, that thing looked kind of ridiculous for a minute. Alright, off to the space station. We'll sell these. Hopefully we'll get some decent nanites. I think we only need 600 to unlock the teleporter, so that's a good thing. Because that's my main goal. I would like to have some additional nanites for unlocking other stuff. But the main goal at the moment is just to get the teleporter for my vehicles. Because we got our Colossus unlocked. We have our Colossus unlocked. We have our Nautilus unlocked. The story is going to unlock our... actually, I think the story unlocks them all, but I like to have the Colossus early because I'm pretty sure it's the last one that you get, or the last one it gives you. Close to it, anyways. I'm actually really enjoying the look of this ship, by the way. I just watched Tron Aries, and I mean, how much more Tronish can you get? I mean, Dillinger Incorporated, eat your heart out. That's basically what we're looking at here. Anyways, okay. So my thoughts on the movie, just while we're on the subject. Hi, buddy. You looked interested in talking to me, so. My thoughts on the movie. Jared Leto, absolutely loved Jared Leto in the movie. It was good. Like, Leto was great in the movie. The story was very... how do I put this? it was very. I can't say it was very Disney because it's always Tron has always been Disney. It's new age Disney. Shall I put it that way? It's new age Disney. It was. I mean, all of the protagonists. The protagonist was a youth. I mean, it was a son of somebody. You know, that was your evil protagonist, which was actually a human. The protagonist was a human. I mean, you might think, you know, Aries and I don't want to give too much away, but you might think that, you know, Aries and Athena, you saw Athena in the commercials, so you might think that they're the protagonists, but really the story kind of circles around them. The story circles around Encom and Dillinger, basically the companies. Aries and Athena are pawns in the whole thing. They're pawns in the whole thing, and while they do have some major story elements, I didn't feel that they were the main protagonists of the movie. They were just doing what they're told, or, you know, you have good versus evil kind of thing, and they were doing what they were told to do by, you know, one side of the coin. So I didn't really find them to be the main protagonists of the story. It was more like Dillinger was the main protagonist, like the Dillinger Corporation, specifically the person running the corporation, seemed to be the main protagonist. He was the one that was running the show, and basically doing all the bad. The programs were just basically following their orders, or, you know, or doing what programs do. So, where was I going with that? Oh, so when I get back to the thought of Disney, Tron being very Disney, or Tron Aries being very Disney, I mean, what I mean is there's youth. Youth is the key. Like when you all of these company running CEOs, they're all basically kids. Like, they're kids who in the real world would never have those kind of positions. You're not going to see kids in those positions. You're not going to see people there, like 20-something-year-olds, in the positions that they're portrayed in the movie. You're going to see, you know, 60, 70-year-olds in those positions as the heads, CEOs of the company, you know. And then these young ones are going to be working on the, you know, projects and whatever, working their way up the ladder, basically. So I found that Disney aspect to it a little unbelievable, especially when things started to go kind of sideways, as, you know, they do in most Tron movies, and then you see the adults stepping in and they're like, you shouldn't be doing this, and then the kid's like, yeah, whatever, and does it anyways. It's like there's a level of believability that gets violated, heavily violated, in such a harsh way. I missed what this person was asking for. Oh, storm crystals. I don't think I have storm crystals. I might. But yeah, there's a level of believability that just kind of goes out the window at some point. It's like all of this shit is happening, and a lot of it's happening in the real world, and not just in the real world, but there's like hacking, like just blatant industrial hacking with no regard as to I freaking hate when that happens. No regard to being caught or not caught or anything. It's like just blatant. It's like, oh, we're being hacked by Dillinger Systems. It's like or oh, we're being hacked by Encom, or it's like you're just sitting there going, okay, this is going to be all over the news in about 2 seconds, and police cars are going to be, storming these buildings, and nothing happens. It's like, dude, oh, they're hacking us. Okay, and the focus is like stopping the hack or stopping the infiltration. It's totally it goes in a totally unbelievable direction. It's not like, okay, call the FBI, report the hack, and they'll go shut them down. They'll go shut the company down. No. It's like, oh, they're hacking us. Oh, we have to put up a defense. We have raise your shields and da 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 and launch our own counteroffensive. And you're sitting here going, the fuck kind of world are they living in? Where you can't just call up the FBI and say, hey, somebody's hacking us. We know who it is. Here's the evidence. Go shut them down. Yeah, you might want to send a few squad cars over there to arrest them. But there was like none of that. I shouldn't say that. The cops eventually got involved. That were regular, absolutely useless cops. That they were. I don't know why they were even in the film. They didn't seem to do anything. But. Yeah, they just kind of the police just show up at the end, kind of thing, and don't do anything. They're just there for lights and sirens. So I was lost in the logic of it. The movie, don't get me the action sequences and all that stuff. Absolute gold. Loved it. I loved the grid. I loved. I don't think I'm breaking any rules by saying I loved the old grid, the old 80s grid, because that's been in commercials, so I don't feel like I'm revealing anything there. No, I'm not on Starship Upgrades. Where am I looking? I'm not over here, or was it over there? It might have been over there. Let me check here. But yeah, there was a level of believability that was, the line was crossed so blatantly that it's like I cannot believe any of this. Even though I want to heavily believe this. I want to just throw my logic out the window. But it reached a point where it was like I can't throw my logic out the window anymore. This is stupid. Like the level of what is going on is just so blatantly stupid. At some points. But like the acting, Jared Leto did an amazing job. Absolutely amazing job. And I thought and that's really the only star of it that I know. That's the only person I know, and I know him because I'm big into music too. So that's why I know Jared Leto. Some of the other actresses, they did great as well. I was a little upset that we didn't get to see any of Sam or Cora, and I mean, all of this information's already out there, so I'm not really screwing anything, or I'm not really revealing anything new here. But we didn't get to see Sam or Cora or anything from Legacy. It was kind of like Legacy just didn't happen. I shouldn't say that. It's there's the basis of the movie is what happened in Legacy, but it seemed like it was an afterthought. There was just Sam Flynn. You heard about him for a couple of seconds, and then they moved on. And there was, like I said, there was no hint of Cora, even though at the end there might have been a hint that maybe there's going to be a sequel, and Cora will be in the sequel. So we might get something there, but I don't know. It just, there was something about the movie that just felt like it was an action movie. It was a Tron movie, and that made me want to love it, or made me love it. because I love Tron. I love, I love that world. I love the whole grid idea. I absolutely love it. And the 80s Tron is one of my all-time favorite movies. Absolutely love it. Legacy was good, don't get me wrong, but the original OG, nothing's going to beat that. That was the best Tron movie that they've ever made and will ever make. Period. That said, even these new ones, I kind of loved them. Wasn't too thrilled about the triangular shaped identity discs. I kind of understand. The identity discs keep going through transitions. I mean, it was a frisbee back in the '80s, and then we moved it to a ring with Tron Legacy. Now it's a triangle, which to me doesn't make sense because the triangle is not a disc. Identity disc, circular. Triangle doesn't make sense. Anyway, I understand why they did the triangle. They were trying to make a point with the triangle. Only certain people had the triangle, but still, it seemed gimmicky. It was like giving them a switch. We're gonna give you a gimmicky weapon just to make a point because, in the Legacy movie, you take the disc off your back and then it would light up and the edge would glow and da 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 da. And now we have to go one step further. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it a triangle shape, and we're going to have little blades come out of the end. Instead of it just lighting up, we're going to have little pointed blades come out of the corners. And it's so gimmicky. To me, it was like, okay, so the whole reason they did the triangle shape was so they could have these little blades come out of the end. That was, who thought this? Who thought this was good? And at any point. Like, who came up with this idea? Who thought this was going to be a good thing? Because to me, it was just gimmicky. And there was a lot of that. There was a lot of gimmickiness. There was a lot of Tron stuff that they changed, and all it was for gimmick. Like the light staffs that you've seen in the commercials. Is there really a point to having one of those laser walls on a staff? No, there's no point to it at all. You're always going to strike them with the edge of the staff. I mean, at one point in time, they showed them actually using those laser walls, but they only showed it once, and I think it was more of an afterthought. I was like, oh well, we need to actually show them using the laser walls on the staffs at least once, just to give it some validity. But it really didn't. If we're being totally honest, it really didn't, because we only saw it used once, and beyond that, it was just for show. It was flashiness. That's all it was. So you'd sit back and you go, oh, that's kind of neat, and then you just move on from there. So, I mean, the movie was great. I want to love the movie. I really want to love the movie, but there were things that were in the movie that really bothered me. And they were those kind of things. They were those gimmicky, that didn't need to happen, or they didn't need to change that kind of things. It was like somebody walked into a room and said, okay, Tron is already cool, how can we try to make it cooler? And the key phrase there is try. How can we try to make it cooler? Because really, in my opinion, they didn't. They really didn't. Again, they upgraded the light cycles to some new design. I really don't like it. It makes far less sense than the Tron Legacy design. The Tron Legacy design, when the bike was forming, you could see this spinning turbine kind of an engine inside of it just coming to life, and it looked like a beast of a machine that was just ready to rip the grid to shreds. This new one is like, it's kind of like stretched out. There's little thin pieces here and there. You still got the big ass bulky tires, but there's like little thin pieces here and there. And now we've replaced our giant jet turbine, which looked amazing, with this little golden spinny sphere of God knows what. There's no description to it. There's like, what is this little sphere? It it was another gimmicky thing that they threw in there that they didn't need to have. It just did not make any sense to have it. I don't think I actually need any of these because my staff is pretty freaking set. But yeah, like I said, it was just there were so many little gimmicky changes made that you just sit back and you go, okay, they didn't need to do that. They didn't really need to waste my time with this. Same with the recognizer. There's a recognizer in the thing, and the recognizer from Legacy, Tron Legacy, the recognizer looked amazing. It was a great upgrade. And Tron Aries, the recognizer looks horrible. It's still big and beefy, but I mean, they gave it basically padded shoulders. You know, the shoulders that come out from the. You know how in the 80s women used to wear those shoulders that had the real sharp jet out on them. They just looked like they had kind of wings on their shoulders, sort of. That's the way they made the recognizer look. It had these friggin' wings that come out. Well, they weren't wings, but they were like shoulder pads almost, like sharp shoulder pads to really make the shoulders pointy. And then the legs had, instead of the legs coming straight down, they had this weird angle in them that looked like it made them a lot weaker than the old recognizer. And I don't know. It's like you just look at the design and you go, okay, I see what they were going for, but it doesn't make it look stronger. It doesn't make it look more of a menace. It if anything, it makes it look weaker. Like it makes it look like it gives it weak points. Like, oh, they could shoot that joint right there and probably blow the leg off, or they can, shoot that spot there and likely blow a shoulder off, or, they could target right there and probably put a nice little dent in the friggin' thing. It's just, you start to see these little flaws in their effort to make it look cool. You start to see the flaws in the logic of the design. The first recognizer from the 80s, it looked so menacing, and it was just, there wasn't that much detail to it, but it looked so menacing. The recognizer from Tron Legacy, again, they put more detail into it. They made it look, more machine-like. It was less cubey, more machine-like, had more detail to it, but it still had that menacing look to it. And then, like I said, the new recognizer, yeah, it's big, yeah, it's beefy, yeah, it looks like a badass, but it looks like it's got so many weak points that you could exploit, that it does not look like a military machine. It looks more like a showpiece. It looks more like something that's out there to instill fear, but not really, measure up. And some people might disagree with that, because it does show that it has a fairly decent amount of power to it. But that power is, versus some human technology that isn't really on its level. I think if you were on the grid, a recognizer would not really be something that would be that threatening. If you had two armies on the grid, I don't think they'd be using recognizers. I really don't. It seemed slow. It seemed very non-maneuverable. Like I said, it just seemed like a towering hulk that was made to instill fear, not actually perform anything. And I mean, it launches drones that, as far as I can tell, all they did was create walls. So, I don't know. I was not impressed. I was not impressed with the technology upgrades at all. Really, that's what I said. That's what I mean when I say they Disneyed it. They did stuff for gimmicks. They did stuff to make it more gimmicky, to make it just. They did things for looks. And not really logic. So, and when you lose that logic, you lose the magic of it. Like Tron Legacy, everything in Tron Legacy I could believe. I could 100% believe everything in Tron Legacy. The stuff that happened on the grid had consequences, whatever. We know, the real world versus the digital world. We know there's a connection of some kind there, but the real world does not come into the digital world at any point. There's no, Kevin Flynn goes missing. Nobody knows what happens. Sam Flynn figures out what happened. But again, there's no, media hype or anything like that right off the bat because there's nothing going on in the real world. Everything's happening on the grid. The whole shebang happens on the grid. Whereas in Tron Aries, there's so much happening in the real world that it loses its believability. Because the response in the real world is not at all believable. I'm gonna reveal something that's the. So this could be considered a spoiler because I don't think it's ever been revealed. But when the things are created in the real world, they have a 29-minute timer, and that right there was a huge flaw in the movie. Because you're like, okay, every time they come into the real world and they do something, it's in a matter of 29 minutes. It all takes place over 29 minutes. So you have to start thinking, what can realistically happen in a half an hour? And just some of the stuff that they do in that half an hour is just this is not believable at all. Even though there's some areas where they're like, okay, I have 5 minutes, I have 4 minutes, I have 3 minutes, and they do a good job plotting that out in the movie, so you can see that time passing and whatnot. So it tries to make it believable, but in the same note, the human response is not believable. We have military fighters scrambled, fully loaded with weaponry, and they're intercepting things, and it's like, and then you see the clock, and then it's like, okay, so they have 20 minutes left on their clock, which means that these fighters were not only did they spot this thing coming, but they loaded these fighters, because fighters aren't just sitting on the ground loaded. So they loaded these fighters, got the pilots into them, got the pilots all prepped and everything, got the aircraft off the ground from wherever their airbase is, flew to this city, and are now intercepting, these programs in a matter of 10 minutes? That doesn't happen. That's not realistic in the least. It's like all of a sudden, oh, we got jet aircraft in the middle of the downtown. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Unless you're over, like, a specific town, like maybe flying over Washington or something, then you're going to get intercepted. But even then, it takes them time to intercept you. And I figured just a matter of 10 minutes and they're intercepting these things when they literally just saw them. They're like, oh, look at over there. Look at that thing that's coming to us. And then there's 2 fighter jets. It's like, what? When did this happen? When did they have a chance to launch? So there's a realm of non-believability that actually exists because of, oh, this looks like an awesome ship. I love the look of this guy. That's a sexy friggin'... Oof. For a science ship, that sucker's sexy. I like the fact that it's got the... I'm a huge fan of what do you call it? Being the same on both sides. And this with the... Like, it looks like the engine on the bottom, the engine on the top. That is such a nice looking ship. And even the color's not bad. The color's pretty nice too. How much money do I got? 4 million, huh? I bet you cost more than 4 million. I would like to add this to my collection, but I don't think I got the money. Yeah, that's a nice looking ship. What are you going to charge for that? Ooh. I could buy that. It's going to leave me empty, but I could buy it. It's a Class C, which isn't bad. It doesn't really have much space. And honestly, I'm probably not going to use it, but what the frig? I like it. That's a nice looking ship. For a science vessel. I like it. It almost looks like a little speedster or a little roadster of some kind. Nice. I like it. Okay. So we got our we purchased our upgrades, which is good. Now I have to work on getting the stuff for them, that's actually what I was working on, was this guy here. So I need activated quartzite. I need a quantum computer. I need 3 quantum computers and some crystallized helium. So I think, do I have quartzite? I don't think I do. And you know what? Uranium. It's been a while since well, no. You know what? I shouldn't buy anything I don't need now because my income is friggin' sapped. I just killed myself. I just killed my bank account, but that's fine. And I probably don't have any. I got nothing on me to sell. Okay. So I need 3 of the computers, which I could probably craft. I would think I can craft those. I'm gonna switch back to the ship first. Okay. I would think I could craft those unless I didn't unlock the recipe, which would suck. Did I not? I bet you I don't have that recipe. I don't have that recipe. Craftastic! Okay, well, how much nanites do I have? 714. Okay, I could probably go unlock that recipe. What else did I need? Quartzite and... I don't have any quartzite. I know where to get that, though. The purple moons. And I do have engines to get to the purple... What do I have on my ship? I have to install the ones to get to the purple. Which... Red, green, blue. Right. Because I'm not on an exhibition right now. Okay, chromatic metal and wiring loom it is. We gotta work our way up to quartzite. So chromatic metal. And we got some wiring loom over here. Pretty sure. Yep. Alright, let's get that puppy installed. Let's get some engines installed on this puppy and get us to some different galaxies here. Galaxies far, far away. So once we have that, then we need some cadmium for our next one, and then we need emerald for the next emerald. Emerald. We'll be alright. Okay, that'll get us to... Whoops. That'll get us to our next system. Quartzite. I don't think quartzite is in this system. Wait a minute. Do I already have cadmium? I do have cadmium. Oh, I have activated cadmium. Do I have regular cadmium? Probably not. And I don't think you can rewind. I don't think you can go from activated cadmium back to regular cadmium. Although I could be wrong on that. But we have cadmium, so we've either been to a red star or we've got that from somewhere. I just don't remember where. Now, quartzite it said purple stars, right? How in the Sam fuck do we get to a purple star? I don't think we can fly to those right now. I don't think. We can certainly try. Alright. We can certainly try. Actually, what's our warp drive at? 30... Oh, we're at 100%. Okay. Or hyperdrive, whatever you want to call it. Oh, you know, before I go anywhere... Whoops. Let's just take a quick look at our planets that we got here. I just want to make 100% sure that we have no quartzite in this system. I don't think we will because this is just a regular system, but better to check anyways. And I do not see any. Okay. So let us head to a red star. That's where we're going to find our next thing that we need, which is... you are not the red star. Unlock on the red star. Okay. So we'll jump to the red star. We'll see about getting some cadmium so we can put in the cadmium drive, which allow us to go to a green star? Alright. As far as I'm aware, this is going to be... I don't believe there's... No. I don't think I have yet... I think I have yet to find a red star that actually has a space station. Activated cadmium. We just want regular cadmium, please. Buy me regular cadmium, please. Okay, got some there. Check you. Got some there. It's Forsaken. Columned planet. Those are kind of fun. And what else we got? A fiery dread world. Ooh. I don't think I've ever been to a fiery dread world before. That sounds it sounds suicidal. But we're gonna go check it out anyways. Fiery dread world. Oh, I need activated... Wait, I need the activated quartz... Oh, activated quartzite, sorry. I don't have activated quartzite. Let's recharge our pulse engine while we're out here. Oh! Hello. How you doing? Where's your cargo holds? Do you have cargo holds? I'm not seeing cargo holds. Why do you not have cargo holds? You prick. Where's your cargo containers? You seriously just gonna leave me here no cargo containers? You're gonna throw me a Hulk that's got no point to it. Because this is not a landable one. This is not a landable Hulk. So, what's the point? What's the point here, boy? What's the point? Yeah, I ain't getting anything off this thing. I got absolutely nothing off this Hulk. Yeah, she's dead and empty. Why the hell would he even have it? I knew that hatch wasn't actually open. Okay, so there's we got a Hulk here with nothing on it. Just a waste of time. Oh, what are you? I haven't seen you. Cactus Flesh, Cadmium, Aggressive Sentinels, a Rocky Moon. Okay. This one doesn't have aggressive sentinels. So it is a fiery dread world, which looks like it has water. So that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, there's like lakes. Nurturing your new companions. Oh, okay. Take us down into this fiery dread world where there's water. Ooh. Okay, this looks kind of badass. Notice how everything's gone in black and white. We're like an old movie here. Unfortunately, this is going to make it really hard to see the resource deposits. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to spot cadmium from the air. So what I'm going to have to do is bring her to a halt. I'll have to exit my seat and run a scan this way. Definitely some friggin' brood on here. What the hell? Oh, we got a Titan worm burrow. Okay. Which we're actually almost right at. That's always fun. There's a cadmium deposit. Oops. Let's tag that deposit. Yeah, we got a nice worm burrow. Oh, it's under the water. And that's just fun. Our cadmium deposit is under the water. So let's just park our little butt right here. We will... Oops. Switch to our terrain manipulator. Let's go get us some cadmium. Warning, extreme weather. Well, duh. You little wormy guys having fun watching me shooting the cadmium? Having a good time there? Supplementary oxygen is all the way good. Always good. Alright. So did we get enough cadmium to go to our next stop? That's the question. We did not. We need 250. Okay. Let's find ourselves another deposit. We got silver, silver, phosphorus, cadmium. Whoops. There we go. 300 that way. Up on this hill. Oh, kind of buried on this hill. Oh, there it is. I see it. Alright. So yeah, all in all, Tron Aries, is it a good movie? Yeah. Is it special as far as Tron goes? Not really. Not really. I do not find it as special as Tron Legacy was. Tron Legacy was much more special to the Tron story than Aries was, and I hate saying that because I actually really do like Jared Leto. I think he's a great actor. He's a great musician, all around. Seems to be a nice guy. But when I rank the Tron movies, I mean, Aries is going to be at the bottom of the list right now. It just did not. It didn't have the special return that that Legacy did. A lot of stuff seemed gimmicky. Even going to the old grid, which I know that's out there now. I know people have seen that now. So I don't feel revealing that as too much of a problem. But even the old 80s grid, going to the old 80s grid seemed very gimmicky. It was while it had a point in the story, like I see why they had to go there. In the same note, they didn't have to go there. It was almost pure fan service, them going to the old grid. There were plenty of other ways to do what they were trying to do. Just perhaps not in their the way that they set up the story. It was like that was the only thing that they could do. But they're hi, Worm. So the way they, like I said, the way they set up the story, that was really their only option. Was to go to the old grid. But it seemed like it was done in just such a way that it was kind of like, really, you know, it felt forced. It felt like we were forced to go to the old grid. Like it wasn't a choice. It was just, we have to do this because the writers have left us no other option. And when that happens in a story, when something that blatant happens in a story, the story itself loses credibility. Because it's like, I could see if they went to the old grid just because, it would have been a hell of a lot better than the way that it was forced on us. And it feels like that throughout a lot of the story. Like, there's certain reasons for certain things, and they purposely throw you those reasons. And it doesn't seem to... I don't know how to really put it into words, other than to say it left me with a little bit of a bad impression. Which sucks. Because, like I said, I really wanted to like this movie. And I do, you know what, I do like this movie. I did like Tron Aries. It was a good movie. But like I said, it's not... It's rated the bottom on the Tron list. I don't think Nine Inch Nails really had a fair go either. I was absolutely thrilled to hear that Nine Inch Nails was doing the audio for Tron Aries. I was absolutely thrilled with that. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And we all heard their single. We all heard, the single that was released before the movie, and it was an amazing single. And all I have to say about that is, when you go to Tron Legacy, and you talk about Daft Punk, there were so many songs that Daft Punk created for Tron Legacy. And there were so many amazing songs. And there were different songs. When I come to Tron Aries, and I go, okay, this is Nine Inch Nails, we're going to have some amazing songs here, it's going to sound great. And then it was kind of like, I've heard this song. Oh, and I've heard this song. Oh, and I've heard this song. It was all the same song. It's like that song was the only... It was the only song. Anytime any action ever happened, it was that song. So that kind of... That was like... And it wasn't necessarily the lyrics, it was just the theme of that song. It was like the theme of that song played. So it's like something happening. Okay, theme of that. So cue the theme of that song. As alive as you need me to be. That song. It's like cue that song. Cue that song. Cue that song. Anytime something happened, anytime there was an action scene or anything like that, was like, cue that song. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, where's the other songs? Where's the album? You know, where's the that was what I was thinking. Where's the album? Because I've got the album to Tron Legacy. I love it. I actually had the LP, and I play it. I have the, or I shouldn't say the LP. I have the vinyl. I have the, yeah, I've got the vinyl, and I actually play it, and I love it. Tron Legacy, love it. Daft Punk has so many good songs on that soundtrack, and they were different. They weren't the same song. Like you had the grid opening, which was amazing, and then you had End of Line, which I actually used myself for when I was doing some radio broadcasting. End of Line was my backing track for when I would go into my commercial breaks, which were, you know, commercial. It was not a commercial station, so we didn't have commercial breaks. But you know, when you stop to, you tell everybody what music played and what music is coming, that kind of thing. So, I used End of Line as my backing track. So that tells you how good that album was. That there's so many different songs in there that you could basically go through and you can pick a song. You go, oh, I'm going to pick this song for this mood. I'm going to pick this song for this mood. As the mood changed, the songs changed. And that seemed to be almost lost in Tron Aries. Because, like I said, every time something happened, they would play As Alive as You Need Me to Be. And it would be, it wouldn't necessarily be the song. The song did play. There was the song that played. But, they'd play the theme to the song, or they would play the overture, or different aspects of the song would play. And it was kind of like it was almost like, so they did this entire movie based on a single. They didn't make an album for this movie. It was just a single. And then they would chop up that single, or they would use pieces of that single here and there whenever action happened, or whenever a theme happened or something like that. And I kind of the music of the movie got lost on me. I couldn't tell you if there was any other songs in there because nothing stood out other than that song. That was the only thing that stood out. So I couldn't tell you if there was any other soundtracks or any other music to the thing, because I didn't hear anything. the only thing I heard was As Alive as You Need Me to Be. I heard it played several times. So it was kind of I don't know. I was very underwhelmed by the music. The story was so-so. It feels like they took a long time to get to. Well, not really a long time to get to the heart of the matter, or the meat of the story. Didn't really seem like that took a long time. That was pretty quick. But what seemed to take a long time was just getting around from point A to point B to point C. It seemed like the story could have been handled in about 20 to 30 minutes, and it was just elongated. It was stretched out. But again, I want to like it. It's a Tron movie, and I do like Tron movies, and I do like the Tron, series, and now this is part of that series, and I do like it. I do like it, but I keep finding I keep finding things that I shouldn't like about it. You know, it's kind of like I'm trying to justify why do I like this movie, and the only things I can come up with is Jared Leto and Tron. That's it. That's it. Those are the reasons I like the movie: Jared Leto and Tron. Everything else was just I don't know. If it wasn't Tron, if Jared Leto didn't play in it, or wasn't in the movie, and the movie wasn't based on Tron, like if this was just a generic story, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work at all. It would be so horrible. Nobody would go and see it. Well, people would probably go and see it, but they'd be walking out of the theater. Because they'd be like, what's the point of it? What is the point of this? It doesn't seem to be a point. So, a lot of gimmickiness to it. Especially like the whole 3D printing in the real world. I understand why they did that, because people are now used to 3D printing and printing with stilts, or printing with supports and all that stuff. But there was no need for that. We've already seen how things get digitized into the real world. We didn't need to see it as if it was being 3D printed with, you know, a whole skeleton of plastic around it that dissolves to reveal what's underneath. That was it was unnecessary. It was highly unnecessary. And unless you do 3D printing, it was probably lost on you as to like why does everything that materializes in the real world have this cocoon of just random plastic pieces around it? It almost doesn't make sense to anybody who doesn't 3D print. So, I don't know. Again, we get back to the gimmicky aspect. They tried to make it look like they were doing something, and it just turned out to be gimmicky. And not look or give the presentation that they were hoping it would give. I think that's the one I just cleared out. So I understand where they were going or trying to go with the whole 3D printing theme. You know, using lasers to make the stuff materialize, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have a 3D printed object that's under a cocoon of plastic 3D printed supports that just deteriorates to reveal, you know, what's underneath. I get that. I see why they did it. It's just, again, it's gimmicky and doesn't make any sense. This is not how we've seen things go to the grid and come back from the grid. We see things being digitized and then reassembled. We don't see stuff getting quote unquote printed. We just see it being dematerialized or rematerialized. There's no excess. You know what I mean? So it kind of breaks the established parameters of how the transfer between the grid and the real world works. It kind of breaks that. It's like, oh, now we have extra stuff that shows up with these things. And also the fact that the programs could be brought into the real world and yet they still exist outside of the real world. Like the stuff that's in the real world isn't actually them. Like I guess that was kind of a weird thing, and I don't know how to explain that. It's kind of like it's specifically the Dillinger stuff. Anything that was Dillinger, which is, you know, red, of course, because you have the red and the blue colors for bad and good, or red and white for bad and good. So anything that was Dillinger, which is red, was almost like networked. So it was kind of like it was kind of like when Aries, of course, was red, and so anytime Aries was in the real world as red, um, and then he would deteriorate, and he would be in the digital world still. So it was kind of like, was he actually brought to the real world, or was he like, maybe that was the whole 3D printing thing? Maybe he was just 3D printed in the real world and controlling it like a puppet. You know, it there was some open holes there that needed closed. Because when Korra came to the real world, Korra came to the real world, right at the end of Tron Legacy. There was no more Korra in the digital world. She had transferred completely. She was a real person in the real world. And in Tron Ares, this didn't happen. It was like they were printed and almost. It was almost like their bodies in the real world were being remote controlled, like a puppet. Which to me didn't make sense. Because the whole point was to get rid of that. What the hell are you? The whole point was to get rid of that deterioration, so they would have more than the 29 minutes. And what ended up happening was, I'm trying to get that one right there. What ended up happening was, so you're in the real world, or this character's in the real world, and all of a sudden he gets this ability that, okay, now he doesn't deteriorate. So was he originally a puppet, or was he not a puppet? And what happens to his, like, if he was puppet controlled and now he's no longer gonna deteriorate, is he actually the one that's here, or is he still a puppet? Like, there were aspects that it didn't seem like they thought through. So it's like, is he puppet controlling this thing, or is this really him? So yeah, there was just some things that it kind of lost me in a few places because the logic was falling away, and that, I feel that had to do with the gimmicky aspect of it. They played around with things being gimmicky so much that when it came down to logically thinking about certain things, the logic didn't work. Although now that I say that, he was normally he was just transferred and printed, but when he came to the real world that last time, it was through like one of the portals. So maybe traveling through the portal does the full transfer, and then there wouldn't have been a copy of him. So I mean, it's kind of up in the air because they don't describe any of this stuff or how it works. They just show it and do it, kind of, because it's gimmicky. It's like, hey, we're gonna do this because it's gimmicky. So then it leaves you thinking afterwards, like, okay, could that happen? Why did it happen? Was there a reason for it to happen? And I think maybe that works. That logic works. Maybe. So maybe that logic worked. Maybe that was him in the real world, like fully him in the real world, because he went through the portal that time instead of going through or being printed or whatever the hell they were doing. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I try to put logic to it. I try. But again, like I said, Tron Legacy was a much better Tron movie, which stayed true to the original. Whereas this one, I don't feel stayed true to the original, or true to Tron Legacy. I don't feel like it stayed true to either of them. It felt almost like its own little Tron movie. Because they threw in, like I said, they threw in some commentary about, you know, Kevin Flynn. They threw in some commentary about Sam Flynn. But there was really never any attempt to include them, aside from, you know, aside from a brief cameo for Kevin Flynn, of course. Which again, that's been shown online, so I don't feel like I'm revealing too much for that. But yeah, it just there was too much gimmicky, too much gimmicky. There was too much gimmicky, too much fan service. It felt very Disney. Excuse me. It felt very Disney. And if you go back to the first Tron movie, you'll understand what I mean by that. The first Tron movie, even though it was Disney, it didn't feel Disney. It really didn't. I did not feel like I was watching a Disney movie. I did not feel like everything was going to work out for the best. There was no chance that the bad guy was going to win. I didn't feel like the story was on rails, you know? As most Disney movies, to me anyway, they feel that way. I could tell a Disney movie because it feels like it's on rails. It feels like we're starting in a good place, and then the protagonist makes it bad, and then the protagonist gets defeated, and we end up back in a good place. This is basically every single Disney movie. And there's more to it. There's more to it than that, of course. There's definitely more aspects to it than just that. But that's the basis of it, and you can feel it. You can feel like, okay, this guy's good. We know this guy's going to lose because he has to lose. He's the bad guy. We know something's going to happen with this guy, and you know, we know this person's going to get killed because they don't fit into the story. They don't seem like a character that's going to continue on past this story. And you can just kind of, you feel that stuff, you know, ahead of time, because especially if you watched enough Disney shows or enough Disney movies, you feel the Disney theme, you know, in the movie. And I really felt that with Tron Ares. Again, no fault of Leto or any of that. He did an amazing job portraying Ares. Absolutely amazing job. But I do feel like the story let him down. Even though, like I said, it's a Tron movie, and I like Tron movies, and I can't not like this movie. Let me put it that way. I can't not like this movie because I am such a big Tron fan, and I am a big Jared Leto fan. In fact, the whole Leto crew. I love 30 Seconds to Mars. I fucking love them. So, but it's just, and I feel like I'm over talking this now. Like I'm just talking your ears off about the whole thing. But I'm trying to work this out mentally because it's kind of like I shouldn't like this movie, but I do like this movie. But I shouldn't like this movie, but I do. Yeah, and you know, you end up stuck in that loop. Especially if you're ADHD like I am. You just get in that loop. And you just get stuck in it. And you can't get out of it. So you're gonna have to deal with it. If I got to deal with it, you got to deal with it. All right, let's see if we can find one of these purple stars. I don't know that I see any purple star. I see a blue star. There's a blue star there. There's a blue star. I don't think the quartzite is going to be at the blue stars, though. Like, we have to travel to purple stars, which I don't see any purple stars on our screen. I do not. So anyway, if you haven't seen Tron Ares, it's now on the streaming service. You know, you can guess which one. But But yeah, I myself was not. I want to like it. I want to like it. I wanna. I want. I really do. I really do. I want to like it. I have to like it. My brain says I have to like it. That is Icebound. What is that one? Planetary Anomaly. Yeah, so my brain says I have to like Tron Aries, even if it doesn't make sense for me to like it. State that as you will. It was a good movie. There was a lot of stuff that, like I said, it was... yeah. I think I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Maybe... why were the light cycles driving down the city streets with their beams on? There was no point to having their beams on. Come on. Sorry. But that's what I mean. You know, there's points of logic that don't make sense. They don't. They really don't make sense. You can turn your beam on and off anytime you want. You don't have to leave it on. So why were they driving down all the city streets with their friggin' beam turned on? It made no sense. It's a flip of the switch right at your thumb. I ride motorcycle. I know how easy you can flip things on and off if it's right there on at your thumb. I do it for the blinker all the time. So I don't see why they would have had to just been randomly driving down city streets with their beams with the walls on. There was no sense to it. Ugh. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that because if I keep going, I'm just gonna keep going forever. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus now. Go watch it. Especially if you like Tron. If you like Tron and you have not seen this, I couldn't afford to go see it in theaters, so I waited for it to come out on Disney. And you know, I'm glad I waited. I am glad I waited because I think I would be upset if I actually went and saw this in the theater. There was a lot of fan service. There's probably a lot of things I would have enjoyed in the theater, but I would have left the theater probably confused. I had to sit back for a second and process it while I was watching it here at home. In fact, there's a couple of points in time where I paused the movie. I paused the movie and I was like, okay, what did I miss something? Because something here is not making sense. It's just the logic behind something here is not making sense. So there were a couple of times I paused the movie, and I'm glad I could do that. If I couldn't pause the movie, I probably would have been a little more confused than I am about certain things. Just because of how my brain works, it's like I have to know the logic. I have to be able to quantify the logic. I have to be able to, even though I understand it's just a movie. I understand that it's just a movie. But for me to enjoy a movie, I have to understand it, and there were a lot of aspects to this movie that I didn't understand. Not that I didn't realize what was going on, I just couldn't logically fathom. I couldn't logically fathom what was going on. Like, for example, like I said, they ride motorcycles down the city streets with their beam walls on. There was no point to it. Why are you doing that? There's no point. And with as well trained as these characters had been shown, as well trained as they were, it seemed like something a rookie would have done. Like if they had a rookie in their squad, this is what the rookie would have done. You'd be laughing at him. Ha ha! He's been driving down the city streets with his wall on. You know, it'd be something that you'd go back to the barracks afterwards and you'd laugh at him for it. You know, it would be the equivalent of like a firefighter leaving a fire scene and, you know, leaving their lights turned on, like the flashing lights, leaving them turned on all the way back to the station. The other firefighters would laugh their ass off at him and tease him for it. And I feel like that's the same thing that would have happened here. It's like, oh, you left your jet wall on while you were going downtown? Yeah, what a rookie. You know, that's just how it would have been portrayed in my mind. This would not have been the actions of a well-honed fighting machine who was trained as much as we're meant to believe that this person has been trained. You know, it seems a very lackluster way of using your equipment. It's not efficient at all. And you're risking damaging the target that you've been sent to get or sent to recover. Like, you're risking doing serious damage to the target that you've been assigned to collect. So, all in all, again, another point where something is gimmicky doesn't make sense, but I understand why they did it, because laser walls behind motorbikes are cool. Right? That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason they did it. Laser bikes behind behind motorbikes are cool. And that's the same reason why they did Kylo Ren's lightsaber, you know. Oh, we got a 3-bladed lightsaber. That's cool. You know. It's got the main blade, and then it's got 2 little blades. You know what? Let's make it buzz, because buzzing is cool. Let's give it like a chainsaw look to it. Make it unstable, because unstable is cool. You know? It has that touch of Disney to it. That touch of, we're trying to make it cool, and it's failing. Because we don't know what cool is. We don't know when we're crossing the line from cool to gimmick. And that seems to be their motif. It seems to be, we don't know when we have crossed the line from being cool to being too gimmicky. But I mean, what can you expect from a company who gave us a serial killer tow truck? You know. If you know, you know. We'll leave it at that. All right. So, really. We have to get to a purple start. Now we have each of our elements. We have each of the elements. We have some cadmium, we have some emerald, and we have some indium. And we have all the drives. The problem is we need quartzite, and I don't see a purple engine. Or I didn't see a purple engine while we were on the Anomaly. And I don't see any purple moons. Or purple stars. So I don't really know where to go from here to get that quartzite. I did not see it on any of the planets in the system. And as it says right there, it's mined from metal deposits on heavily active planets around purple stars. But we don't have any purple stars that I can see. See, extreme weather worlds that orbit purple stars. So when I was looking at our system map, I did not see any purple stars, unless they're farther in towards the center of the galaxy, or whatever you want to call it. That could be possible. And this is an abandoned station. How about that? That means a long walk. Dang it. Because this ship's going to land us here, and they do not have portals. Thanks, Hello Games. They really need to put portals in these stations. Because not having the portal right there is a pain in the ass. Especially on busy stations where you land like 3 or 4 ships out. That's just ridiculous. It makes you want to leave and then transfer to your other ship just so you can friggin' land back here. So we ended up getting those resources. I'm gonna do a quick check of the. Maybe there's some quartzite on the exchange here because we're around a blue. We're around a blue, so maybe the galactic exchange here has quartzite on it. We'll see. We get some wiring though. And we got some resonators. I think we needed some resonators. I think we needed 3 of them. So I'll buy those. Other than that... Yeah. Other than that, I'm not seeing any quartzite. Atlas Pass. I never make those. Because I kind of know what's in those side rooms, and it's not really worth making it. It's either going to be a room full of crates, just generic crates, you know, kind of like these ones sitting around. So it's either going to be a room full of generic crates like these, or it's going to be a room full of plants, which all you get out of the plants is carbon. So it's really not worth it. Oh, I will take a specimen though. So let's head back to base. I got done what I wanted to get done this episode, which was get nanites and unlock these things. That was my chief goal for this episode, so mission accomplished. The next thing is going to be to get it installed, which, like I said, it's going to take quartzite, which I gotta figure out where the hell to get it. It says purple stars. I did not see any purple stars on our star map. I might go back and have a look again after, like when I replay this or when I go to double check this video and make sure there's no errors in it, which I always do. I always watch the videos before I upload them. So just in case there's any kind of glitches or anything I have to edit out, or maybe I got to put a note on the screen for you guys. Like I did that one Minecraft episode where I had no audio for a little bit. I put a little note on the screen just to say, hey, I got no audio here, and I didn't realize I had no audio, but it'll be back. When I do realize that I have no audio, it'll be back. But anyways, so I'll go back, watch this video, and see if I spot any purple systems. I don't think there were any, though. So I really don't know what we're going to do about a purple star to get quartzite. Might have to look and see if there's other ways of getting quartzite. Because some of these things can be crafted, right? With different materials. So you never know. But anyway, that's going to be it for me on this episode. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for listening to my spiel about Tron Aries. Again, you know, if you like Tron, if you like Jared Leto, go ahead and watch it. It is good. It is entertaining. It's not one of the best Tron movies by far, but it is good. It is entertaining. There's a lot of you have to set your logic aside for a good portion of it, and kind of also set aside your preconceptions about Tron and what how the Tron world works. because they throw a few things right out the window. Um, you know, all I gotta say, the NCOM grid was amazing. I loved the MCOM grid. I wish we could have spent more time there, but we did not. A lot of the movie was actually done in the quote unquote real world. So there you go. A lot of the movie was done in the real world, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So take care, everybody. This is Jody, and I'm signing off, getting the hell out of here. See you next time. Bye bye.